Welcome to the Metaphysics Hour. I am your host, Rory Colgan. Thanks for tuning in today, tonight, whenever you happen to come across this video. We are looking at Tom MacDonald's Superman, and as you can see, it doesn't look like a rap, but it also looks like it's going to be a song about war, and I guess Superman somehow. So let's dive in and see what he has for us acoustically.
Unlock my phone and watch the world die. They crying to God while they run for their lives. Blood in the streets, bombs in the sky. Goodbye. I hope you had dreams come true. I hope they see in their crosshairs what I see in you. And I hope and I pray, 'cause it's all I can do.
Wow. Okay. So essentially, this is, you could argue, maybe an anti-war song or a song that at least speaks to the atrocities of war, of fighting. We're looking at essentially situations in the world where people are fighting at each other, looking at each other through crosshairs. And I wonder what it means to Tom when he says, I hope they see what I see when I see you. What does that mean? What does that look like? Let's find out more.
I don't understand who is good or bad. They don't care as long as you got oil sands. We need something fast, we need something bad, more than guns and tanks. Where is Superman? Oh.
Okay, all right, so I can kind of see his angle here, which is essentially he doesn't know who's right and who's wrong, who is good and who is bad. And if you look at it just from like a battle perspective, if people are shooting at each other, you can't necessarily tell who is the right person, who's the wrong person, who's the just one, who's the unjust one. You have to have context for why those people are fighting. And he's saying that we need something stronger than tanks and guns, and that he's asking, where is Superman? So Superman is not necessarily the individual that's flying around, but more to Tom's artistic expression, he's saying that we need men who are super. We need somebody that is so powerful, but also understands good and right and can cause there to be peace. Because if you're just looking at who has oil sands or who has natural resources, then it's not necessarily so clear as to who's right and who's wrong. Because, you know, there's lots of wars that have happened throughout history that have essentially just happened because different resources were either available or people were afraid that those resources were going to make other people more powerful. If you look at like Muammar Gaddafi in Libya, he was taken out specifically because he was trying to unify the African nations under a gold-backed currency. And that was something that really, not to get too conspiratorial, but that was something that the current power structures in B would not tolerate. And so that was one of the reasons why they went in. And, you know, so my perspective as a metaphysician is more similar to Tom's so far. So let's keep listening and see what else he's got.
Oh, where's Superman? Oh, where is Superman? I turn on the news and watch the world fight. Thousands of men making widows of wives. I'll be
Thousands of men making widows of wives. That's a profound statement.
home soon, walked off in the night. Goodbye, I will remember you. I know it's shoot or be shot and they're men just like you, but I hope and I pray, 'cause that's all I can do.
I like that aspect. I hope and I pray, because that's all I can do. This gets to the power versus force aspect. If you haven't heard of that book, it's by the late David Hawkins. He was a psychologist, and he indicated that people that have higher vibrations, in other words, people that are closer to enlightenment or love or even something as simple as reasonable, they have a power effect that counterbalances negativity, things like fear and anger and depression and sloth, those types of factors. So we shouldn't take for granted our amazing and immense power of prayer, which is positive thought to a divine source or to the universe or to God, whatever you prefer to call it, and our hope for a brighter future. Because if we give that up, then as people that create our own destiny, we essentially are creating a hopeless future. So you have to have hope, and you have to have that courage to have hope in the beginning, just to see that light at the end of the tunnel. So I appreciate that Tom is, at least in this point, accessing some universal truth, and I think that's fantastic. And I'm liking his acoustic song so far. We'll do a little bit more of it, and then obviously go watch the full song if you like it, and to get the full experience. My job here is just to showcase some of the metaphysical meaning behind people's songs, and this one just came out, so I thought it was a good time to offer it.
I don't understand who is good or bad. They don't care as long as you got oil sands. We need something fast, we need something bad, more than guns and tanks. Where is Superman? Oh.
So the chorus, essentially, where is Superman? And I think it just, to me, reiterates the point that if there is a better arbiter of who's right and who's wrong, it would be somebody that would be somewhat passive and kind of non-judgmental and neutral, and just has a strong core of what's right and what's wrong. And it's really hard to get when you're thousands of miles away from conflict, because you don't necessarily know what the ins and outs are, what's propaganda, what is disinformation, what is true information, how much is the fog of war happening. And I've watched videos of recent conflicts that showcase that it goes back, at least 100 years, and if not further and further. And it's, in some ways, it's kind of like tremors of an old earthquake from the world wars, because that's when, a lot of these boundaries, these national boundaries were written and recreated. And so I think this is a good song. I really enjoy it, and I think it's worth checking out. So if you have a chance, go check out Tom MacDonald, Superman, and comment below what you thought was the most eloquent part of his lyrical expression, or whatever your thoughts or feelings are about this music video. God bless. Namaste. Peace.